Happy day, children. Welcome to 11th standard botany class. So, in our second volume, we have completed till lesson number 13, photosynthesis. And now, we are moving to the next lesson, respiration. So, in respiration, the introductory part is already done in live learning. So, we will move on to the next part of our lesson, that is stages of respiration. Respiration takes place in basic 6 steps. First one is glycolysis. The second step is link reaction, where conversion of pyruvic acid into acetyl coenzyme A takes place. So second is conversion of pyruvic acid into acetyl coenzyme. Third step is Krebs cycle. Okay, third step is Krebs cycle. What happens in Krebs cycle is acetyl coenzyme A is converted to carbon dioxide and water. And the fourth step, electron transport chain takes place. As a result, ATP is formed. So 4 steps. I repeat. The first one is glycolysis. The second one is link reaction. Third one is Krebs cycle. And the fourth one is electron chain reaction. So what happens in glycolysis before that? Where does glycolysis take place? It takes place in cytoplasm of the cell. Okay. Link reaction, it takes place in mitochondrial matrix. Krebs cycle takes place in mitochondrial matrix, and this conversion of this electron transport chain, it takes place in mitochondrial inner membrane. Are you following me? Okay, now let's look into what all happens in the reaction again. Glycolysis, what happens in glycolysis? Glucose is converted to pyruvic acid. So the point that you have to notice, glucose getting converted to pyruvic acid. In link reaction, what is happening? Pyruvic acid is converted to acetyl coenzyme A. So continuation of glycolysis. The end product pyruvic acid is here, which is converted into acetyl coenzyme A. In Krebs cycle, what happens? Acetyl coenzyme A is converted to carbon dioxide and water. Okay. In electron transport chain, in all these reactions, when the electrons keeps on moving from glycolysis, link reaction, Krebs cycle, they release water and carbon dioxide with energy in the form of ATP. In all the above 3 reactions, the electrons are released, energy is released, and that energy is called ATP. This ATP is released in mitochondrial inner membrane. So keeping this as an introduction, let's move into our lesson. That is, the first thing is the glycolysis. What is glycolysis? Where does it take place? It takes place in cytoplasmic of the cell. And what is the glycolysis? Conversion of glucose to pyruvic acid, pyruvate or pyruvic acid. This takes place in 10 steps. You can see the 10 steps here with 10 enzymes and 10 processes. The first one is phosphorylation, isomerization. So let me explain. Glucose is here. The glucose is converted to glucose 6-phosphate. Okay, in the presence of the enzyme exokinesis, where one molecule of ATP is reduced to ADP. ATP is formed. Okay, triphosphate, adenine triphosphate is converted to adenine diphosphate in the presence of the enzyme exokinesis. So this is a first step called the phosphorylation. Second one, glucose 6-phosphate is converted to fructose 6-phosphate. This is an isomer of fructose. It takes place in the presence of the enzyme phosphoexokinase isomerase. And this step is called as isomerization. The next step, fructose 6-phosphate is changed to fructose 1,6 bisphosphate. In this fructose, there is 1 phosphate. Okay, fructose in the 6th position, there is a phosphate. Now, from this ATP triphosphate, 1 phosphate is added to fructose in the first position. So, fructose 1,6. As 2 phosphates are there, it is called bisphosphate. This takes place in the presence of phosphofructokinesis enzyme, and this is called as phosphorylation. Okay. So, in glucose, in the 6th position, 1 phosphate is added. This phosphate is taken from ATP. We call it as phosphorylation because addition of phosphate. Here, Already fructose 6-phosphate is there. In the 6th position, one phosphate is there. We are adding one more phosphate in the first position. So addition of phosphate is called phosphorylation. 4th step. This fructose 6-phosphate is splitted 6 carbon. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon is splitted to 3 plus 3. You can see 3 carbon here and another 3 carbons here. This is called glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. Isomer of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is dihydroxyacetone phosphate. So this is converted to 2 isomers in the presence of the enzyme aldose. Okay, the step is called splitting into 2 molecules. What are the 2 molecules? The 6 carbon compound is splitted as a 3 carbon, 1 3 and another 3 carbon. The name of it is glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. The isomer, it is converted into its isomer by triose phosphate isomerase, which is called as isomerization. So in this step from 1 to 5, you got 2 phosphorylation and 2 isomerization. Okay, this 5 steps are called as the preparatory phase. They are called as the preparatory phase. The second phase is called the payoff phase. Okay, it's called the payoff. So we are going to start with the payoff phase here. So reaction, what is happening in this hand will be similar to in this hand also. But we are not showing that. For your better understanding, we are showing it on only one side. Okay, shall we start? So glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is changed to 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. So 2 phosphate is added. Already 1 phosphate is here. To this 1 phosphate, another phosphate is added. So we call it as bis. In which are the position we have the phosphate? First place and the third place. You can see in the first and the third. So 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, glyceraldehyde is converted to glycerate. This is taking place in the presence of the enzyme glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase, and this process is called as oxidation and phosphate. First oxidation is taking place. Then a phosphate is added to it. You can see here NAD is converted to NADH. Not only that, a phosphate is also added to it. The next step, 7th step, you can see 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. 2 phosphates were there. In that, 1 phosphate is removed. Okay, 2 ATP is there. To the ADP, 1 phosphate is removed from this. So here diphosphate is converted to triphosphate. You can see here 1 phosphate from the first position is removed. That phosphate is added to ADP and converted to ATP in the presence of phosphoglycerate kinase. Okay, so the product is called 3-phosphoglycerate. What is it called as? 3-phosphoglycerate, and this process is called dephosphorylation because we have removed a phosphate from it. Okay, then it's 8th step. 3-phosphoglycerate is converted to 2-phosphoglycerate. You can see here from the third position the phosphate is moved to the second position. Therefore it is called 2. This 3-2 indicates the position of phosphate. It was in the third place here. So it is called 3-phosphoglycerate. Now it is in the second position. Therefore it is called 2-phosphoglycerate. This takes place in the presence of the enzyme phosphoglyceromutase. And this is called shifting phosphate from third carbon to second carbon. The next step. From 2-phosphoglycerate, a molecule of water is removed. You can see that water is removed with the arrow. H2O, water is removed. This takes place in the presence of the enzyme called enolase. Okay. Enolase is the enzyme which removes the water. Therefore, this step is called as dehydration, that is removal of water. When a molecule of water is removed, we get a compound called phosphoenol pyruvate. What is the name of the compound? Phosphoenol pyruvate. So, this is the last compound. This is done by the enzyme called enolase. Enolase removes a molecule of water and converts 2-phosphoglycerate to phosphoenol pyruvate. To this phosphoenol pyruvate, dephosphorylation is taking place. Phospho is removed. See, C, P, second position, P is there. From this phosphate is removed, you can find the 3 carbon compound which is called the pyruvate. A phosphate molecule is removed. So it is called dephosphorylation in the presence of the enzyme pyruvate kinesis. So this is called glycolysis. Children, don't get scared with this kind of definitions or the terms. It's very, very simple. Altogether, you got only 10 steps. First, you will have to learn all these steps. Glucose converted to 6-phosphate, fructose 6-phosphate, fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, dihydroxyacetone phosphate. The first learn all these 6 things. Then come to the remaining 5. 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate, 2-phosphoglycerate, 2-phosphoglycerate, phosphoenol pyruvate and pyruvate. Then learn all the ATP converting to ADP, phosphorylation, isomerization, phosphorylation, splittings, aldose. Here the splitting taking isomerization, oxidation and phosphorylation, dephosphorylation, shifting from 3 carbon to 2 compound, dehydration, dephosphorylation. Then learn all these ATP converting, ATP converted to ADP, ATP into ADP, here NAD into NADH2, and here you have a reverse thing. ADP converting to ATP, ADP converting to ATP and H2O. So altogether you got 6 steps like that. One is phosphorylation, here phosphorylation plus oxidation, dephosphorylation, dehydration. Make note of this will be sufficient for you. It is well and good if you learn also the enzymes, because when you go for competitive exams, they will ask with the enzymes only. What does aldose do in glycolysis? What does aldose do? It is an enzyme which converts the fructose 6-phosphate into 3 carbon compound. 6 carbon compound is converted to 3 carbon compound. So this aldose is important. They may also ask, what is the role of enolase in glycolysis? Enolase is an enzyme which converts 2-phosphoglycerate into phosphoenol pyruvate by removing of the water, because water is the only step which is taking place in the glycolysis. So for when you go to competitive exams, this may be very, very simple thing. Children, I want you to just go through this slowly and quietly so that you can learn those definitions. Now there is a definition called what is enolation. You may get it as an answer. Okay, during the reaction at step 9, 2-phosphoglycerate dehydrates into phosphoenol pyruvate. A water molecule is removed by the enzyme enolase. Okay, a water molecule is removed by the enzyme enolase. As a result, enol group is formed within the molecule, and this process is called enolation. You may get it as a 2-mark question. And here you got direct phosphorylation or transphosphorylation or substrate phosphorylation. Direct transfer of phosphate moiety from substrate molecule to ADP and is converted to ATP is called substrate phosphorylation or direct phosphorylation or transphosphate. This is again a 2-mark question. So this is with your first step, the glycolysis. The second step, pyruvate oxidation, that is the linkage. What happens in the linkage? I have already told. It takes place in the mitochondrial matrix where the pyruvic acid is converted to carbon dioxide. Okay, that is what the pyruvic acid is converted to acetyl coenzyme. So this is what takes place in the link reaction, and this takes place in mitochondrial matrix. It is called a transition reaction or a link reaction because it is an intermediate step. Followed by this, you go to the Krebs cycle. So in Krebs cycle, what happens? Acetyl coenzyme is converted to carbon dioxide and water. That is what we have learned in the introductory part. Conversion of acetyl coenzyme A into carbon dioxide and water. So this takes place in the form of a cycle. Therefore, we call it as a Krebs cycle. This Krebs cycle was found out by the scientist called Krebs. His name will be Sir Hans Adolf Krebs. Therefore, it is called as Krebs cycle, and it is also known as TCA cycle. What is this TCA? It is nothing but tricarboxylic acid cycle. Okay, or CAC cycle, citric acid cycle. When we start discussing the cycle, you will be understanding why it is called so. So this TCA cycle or CAC cycle or Krebs cycle. TCA means tricarboxylic acid, because you get 3 carboxylic acids immediately as we start the cycle. So let's move to the reactions. You will find the cycle over here. So the pyruvate is there. The pyruvate is converted to acetyl coenzyme. This is called the link reaction. The second step. Okay, from the link reaction we got acetyl. This acetyl coenzyme is entering into another reaction. Acetyl coenzyme is converted to citrate. Citrate is converted to cis-aconitate. Cis-aconitate into isocitrate. Isocitrate into oxalosuccinate. Oxalosuccinate into alpha ketoglutarate. If you take the first 3 compound, citrate, cis-aconate, cis-isocitrate, all these 3 are citric acid groups. Therefore, it is called CAC, citric acid cycle. And the second thing, if you see, means they all are carboxylic, tricarboxylic group. Therefore, it is called TAC, tri or carboxylic cycle. Okay. So, first compound is citrate. By addition of water, coenzyme is removed to form citrate. Then water is removed to form cis-aconitase. Water is added to form isocitrate. Both this reaction takes place in the presence of aconitase. This is also an important enzyme. Then converted to oxalosuccinate. These 3 are interconvertible and they are isomers, and therefore it is called as the TCA cycle. Converted to alpha-ketoglutarate, succinyl coenzyme, succinate. Succinate turns to fumarate, fumarate to malate, malate to oxaloacetate. If I am a chemistry teacher or if it is a chemistry topic, I could go with all the reactions. This being a biology subject, it's sufficient if you learn the names, the enzymes and the compounds. That is more than enough. What happens where the ATP is formed in the entire reaction? You can find ATP formed in only one place, that is between succinyl coenzyme and succinate. ATP is formed, and if you find the NADP, NAD is converted to NADH to one energy molecule between isocitrate and oxalosuccinate. Another NADH2 is formed between alpha ketoglutarate and succinyl coenzyme. One more enzyme is energy is formed between maltate and oxaloacetate. So 3 energy molecule NADH2 is formed here. The place where it is formed, between which compound, you make note of it, and only one ATP is formed. Another energy compound is FADH2. This is the only thing we can find here. So FAD is converted to FADH2. So altogether you can find 3 NADH2, 1 FADH2 and 1 ATP formed in this reaction. These are the energy molecules. Okay. At the end you can find carbon dioxide is formed. This carbon dioxide and water, you can find here water. Carbon dioxide is formed, which is liberated out, and the cycle keeps on circulating again and again. Therefore, it is called the Krebs cycle. So, with this, we conclude the first part of the respiration, that is called the aerobic respirations. Okay. So, at the end of the Krebs cycle, you will get carbon dioxide liberated and water liberated. So, the remaining things we will discuss in our class. I hope you all understood this topic, and we will discuss the leftover lessons in our class doubt clearing section. Thank you, children. Hope you understood. If at all you have any doubt, you can clarify it with me at any time. Thank you.